Hayden Locke, President and CEO of Marimaca Copper. We're developing the Marimaca Oxide project in northern Chile, expanding our exploration efforts, and we've just announced that we have a new financing partner that's come on board, which we're excited about.
You do. Congratulations. 20% premium as well. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I think it kind of came about because Tembo, which is a private equity fund, is obviously at the end of its fund life, or approaching the end of its fund life, and we're considering their options. And Assor was very keen to get into the project. And so, we started the negotiations in parallel for a transfer of a large majority of Tembo's ownership, and for them to invest the next lot of capital to take us through to FID. So, it's a pretty positive result for us. We're very excited to have Assor on board. They've got a deep mining heritage, very strong financially. They understand what we're trying to achieve, and they're very keen to back us for the next phase.
Right. Okay. So let's start with use of proceeds, and maybe we'll come back into the project structure and how you got there. So what do you need this money for?
Well, we're financed for all of the work we've got going on this year. So really, this is about looking to next year when we go into detailed design and engineering. We run the parallel financing, debt financing process. Any sort of loose ends around the technical side that we need to mop up, any last minute drilling, any last minute de-risking items. And then in addition, we're very focused on that exploration piece, and Assor is very supportive of us adding value through exploration. So we are now fully financed for all of our exploration activities and all of the items to get us to FID, final investment decision.
Right. So, but let's come back. Okay. So let's come back to the deal and timing and so forth. So most people look at this and go 20% premium. Wow, that's stunning. Most of the conversations I have are, companies offering 10, 15, 20% discounts to today's share price. What was the pitch on your behalf? Why do it now when the market looks like it's going to start ripping for copper? Why not wait?
Well, look, it always takes time to close these sorts of deals, so why not wait? It's really a factor of the timing was there, and the deal that was offered was, from our perspective, good. We weren't unhappy about it, and we felt that Assor wasn't unhappy about it. So there was a meeting of the minds, and when that happens, you should often take the money, is the lessons that I've learned. In terms of the pricing, yes, it is a good price, obviously, relative to our share price, but we as a management team and as a company do think that it's probably reflective of the value of the project, or potentially even a little bit less than the value of the project. So Assor is getting a good deal. They're coming in at a good price from our perspective. And I think it's really a function of a lack of copper projects in the market at the moment that are really investable with that short timeline to development. I think that's one of the reasons we're able to have these very positive discussions around valuation with potential incoming investors, as we did with Mitsubishi, who also came in at a premium. They came in at $4.31, and this is at $4.50. So we're gradually marching the share price higher by hook or by crook, and I hope that when we get to the big financing, it'll be another step higher again.
Okay, and I think everyone understands who Mitsubishi is. That seems like a sensible strategic investor. Assor International Holdings, not really heard about them. Who are they?
Yeah, Assor International Holdings is the international arm of a South African family-owned mining business called Assor. It is owned by a single family. They have exposure primarily to manganese, but also to iron ore. They're also a large investor in Gemfields, a large investor in Atlantic Lithium, and then the biggest single investor in Vision Blue, which is Mick Davis's new mining private equity fund. So they have historically been relatively focused on South Africa, and are now expanding outside of South Africa and into new commodities. And I think we're their first investment in copper, which is exciting.
Yeah, okay. And I guess not too many players at the table at this advanced stage for them to look at. So again, so the nature of the kind of conversations, what were they looking to achieve in their portfolio? And, what do you deliver?
Well, they're looking to expand their commodity exposure into what they call the future-facing minerals. So things that are important for the energy transition, important for the future economy. And copper is a fundamental one. My understanding is they've looked at a lot of copper projects. Obviously, given their African exposure already, Africa would seem a logical place to go. But my understanding is it's been very difficult to find really high-quality investment projects. They spent a lot of time looking at this project. They had started their diligence years ago, And so I think it's taken quite a long time to realise that Marimaca is probably the pick of the bunch in terms of a short timeline development project.
Right, and were they very specific about kind of use of proceeds, or you can do what you want with it? And I know you say you got some stuff outlined maybe for next year's delivery, but between now and then, can you allocate capital to other things?
Yeah, so we're able to allocate it to whatever we want. We've obviously outlined a use of proceeds, but it's fairly general. But I think as a rule, with the way we operate with our partners, is we're not going to make any decisions without speaking to them. But in our discussions, we've said our strategy is twofold: develop Marimaca and move forward to production as quickly as we can, taking into account all those risks. So that's item number one. And the second item is let's really focus back on where we added value in the first place, which is this exploration. And we are getting closer to starting our drilling campaigns and our various projects away from Marimaca. So some exciting, we think, news flow second half of this year, which will be underpinned by this new amount of May coming.
Right. Okay. And in terms of like advancing towards productions, there's a lot of variables involved in that. And increasing the size and scope of the project, I guess, is part of that. But given the conversations we've had in the past with regards to some of the projects around the world which are kind of blowing up pre-production, in terms of they've already started building projects, they've already started advanced works on the ground. What are the things that you are concerned about, feel that you need addressing, and does this increased amount of cash balance allow you to do more in those areas?
Absolutely. I think so. The biggest risk, in my view, in terms of cost blowouts when you go into production is a lack of engineering, a lack of engineering definition before you start the work. So this money will allow us to go through a lot of our detailed design and engineering and get to a highly engineered project. And that doesn't save you from the potential for unknowns. So the greatest risks are around, in my view, geotech and how much earthworks and civil earthworks are you going to have to do to build this project. That's through definition by drilling out properly in terms of geotech around the plant and around the, for us, the heap leach pad site and the Ripio dumps. The second is around man hours and labour productivity. So estimating that correctly, and this is the reason why we partnered with Ausenco, because they have literally just come off the Mantoverde commissioning, which is a large-scale project in Chile. So they have all of the up-to-date information on, the sort of labour productivity and cost. Those are the sort of variables that can cause problems. The rest, equipment pricing, okay, there may be inflation, but we feel like we're at the back end of the inflationary environment, probably less pressure on that side. So yes, it absolutely allows us to, we feel, lock down our engineering a bit more and get a higher degree of confidence in that. The second aspect that's really important for me, which is the execution team. So we will be able to start hiring out a proper owners team who have significant experience in developing these sorts of projects and really building our expertise, because you can have the best engineering in the world, but if you don't have a really good execution team, then you're likely to be tripped up. So that's our focus in terms of the development of Marimaca.
Okay, and you say, would that be the key message to the market? Because looked at the reactions so far. It's early days. We're only an hour into the trading day. What are the things that you say that this is simply the most important thing that we're going to be focused on over the next 12 months, and now we've got the money, we can really do a good job? Is it just the things that you've said, or are there a few other elements?
That's it. We've now just got to execute. We've got to deliver the DFS. Right. We've got to deliver the financing. We've got to deliver the detailed design and engineering. We've got to put together the management team, and then we've got to go through the process of building it. So we've got a very clear plan. We know what we've got to do, and we're going to go ahead with that. And then I think the really exciting bit, that's all great and fantastic. We will eventually be a copper producer, but the really exciting bit is this exploration potential that we have.
Okay, well, Hayden, not too much more to say. Well done on the raise. Well done on bringing some quality partner on board. You better go off and do it. See you later.
Cheers.